The open enrollment period for Medicare is underway, and that means it's an active time for scammers.
Unfortunately, open enrollment, you might recall, is the only time of the year that those on Medicare can actually change their health plans. But as WATE 600 side consumer investigator Don Dare found out, scammers are now targeting seniors seeking their personal information.
They sure are. You know, for some seniors caught off guard, these calls are sounding legitimate for them, and you'll hear that in just a moment. A few years ago, a new law eliminated Social Security numbers from Medicare cards. Currently, with 15% of the U.S. population receiving Medicare, it's going to take a while before everyone is switched over to the new identifying numbers. Well, recently, Medicare sent a handbook, this handbook, to millions of beneficiaries during this open enrollment period, and the new Medicare card, well, it's mentioned inside prominently. Well, con artists are aware of this, and they're looking to gain an edge on stealing personal information.
I'm going to fix some lunch, huh?
In Knoxville, as Betty prepares lunch for Dave, her husband of 67 years, she wonders what the consequences may be after she innocently disclosed personal information to a scammer. Last month, the couple received this handbook from Medicare as the new enrollment period begins. Betty and Dave asked that we not use their last name. Inside the first page, it says Medicare has been mailing new cards since April. Betty reads the next paragraph.
Still waiting for your new card. Your new Medicare card should have arrived in the mail by now. If you didn't get it, here's what you do next.
Then last week, Betty got a call. She wrote down Nicole, the name of the caller.
She said she was with Medicare and was wanting to get information for the new cards.
She wanted sensitive information.
Right. My Medicare number, my address, my age. I told her I hesitated to give this out over the phone.
So Nicole passed Betty on to her supervisor, who asked the same questions.
They kept asking my social security number.
And unfortunately, you gave it to her.
She got it.
Whenever she hung up, and I said, you know, that doesn't seem right.
I was upset after I hung up that I had given so much information away, because I'm pretty good at catching scams when they call.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says the new replacement Medicare cards will have an 11-character randomly assigned number that has no connection to a beneficiary's personal data. To prevent ID theft, the new cards will no longer include a Social Security number or other personal information that could compromise the beneficiary's identity.
Because of that change that's coming around, scammers can come in and just grab you.
Don Lindsay is a spokesperson for the American Association of Retired Persons. We showed him the book Betty received and told him about the scammer's call.
They're not going to contact you unless you call them and ask them to call you back. If they contact you, it's going to be by mail, it's going to be an official envelope. They're not going to ask you for money. They're not going to ask you to confirm your Social Security number. They are not going to do any of that stuff.
I called Medicare to see if I had been taken, and they said yes.
Betty contacted her bank and credit reporting agencies last week. She has a warning if you get one of these calls.
Tell them that you don't give that out over the phone, that's just a no-no in your house.
Now, according to AARP, the same scammers who called Betty also may pretend to be from your insurance company, asking you to verify information. The key thing to remember is the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, your insurance company, they already have your personal information. Hang up if you get one of these calls. And Bo and Kristen, you know, Betty called us wanting her story told so others don't fall victim like she did.
And as you've heard, I mean, these scammers are getting really good at what they do, very convincing in some cases.
And that's what she said. They sounded so legitimate and they were so persistent. And it can be confusing. And lots of people are getting these Medicare cards. They're coming out to Tennessee in the last couple of days and next week as well.
All right, Don.
Thank you so much. Hey, if you have a consumer question for Don, send him an email at ddare@wat.com or call his 6 on Your Side hotline number, 865-633-5974.